Did you watch any of the game yesterday, or I think there were two games yesterday.
I was on a flight coming back from Chicago. I was out there for training camp, but I did come back and watch a little bit of it.
Did we learn anything?
Nothing.
But the Raiders are good. The Raiders are going to be good this year. What do we think?
I think a lot of people continue to overlook the fact that the Raiders made the playoffs last season.
Yes, they did.
Like, everybody talks about the AFC West. Oh, they're loaded up. They're ready to go. I'm not so sure about the Raiders. And you're like, I'm sorry, the team that made the playoffs that eliminated the Chargers.
I know.
In a what was essentially a playoff game, they add Devontae Adams. They add Chandler Jones. Like, that's the thing that kind of goes under the radar. Like, we're laughing at the TikToks of Hunter Renfrow and an Uber, but we're like, oh yeah, they also got Chandler Jones, who's one of the best, most excellent pass rushers in the game, going alongside the other guy they got there. Now I'm like spacing.
Yeah, but
I've been traveling too much.
But yeah, they beefed up their team, a team that already made the playoffs.
Yes.
I mean,
so did
Denver. So did Denver.
Well, Denver was already a good team.
They were already a good team, and then they added a component to
But I think Kansas City, I know a lot of people, I know if Stone Street was here, he'd be upset with me.
Yeah,
but
let's hear it.
I think getting rid of Tyreek Hill is a bigger mistake. It's a bigger deal than a lot of people are talking about. I will say this, when you're talking about fantasy production, Patrick Mahomes is going to go out there and put up numbers.
He will.
Like, you look at it and
runs.
His passer rating without Tyreek Hill was over 100.
Yeah.
He had 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's fine. But if you went back and looked at that game against Buffalo,
I mean,
the reason
I don't know what game you're talking about. The greatest game that was ever played in the history of football. Yeah, I don't know that game.
But that was Tyreek Hill. Most of that was Tyreek Hill.
I mean, Tyreek Hill was like the guy who just kept on raining threes in like a pickup basketball game at like a YMCA, and like he keeps coming down, and the other guys are like, guard him.
They can't
guard him. They couldn't.
They could not. They cannot stop him.
You knew where it was going.
Yes.
And every time it's like, and not just a 10-yard over the middle, he turns into 15. Like 30-yard across the middle. I'm like, no one's seeing this coming. How is this guy dusting everybody? Put 4 guys on him.
You can't
make
stop
someone
him.
else beat you. But again, Travis Kelce, you got some other weapons. He's got weapons.
You have players, you'll be fine. But there's a difference.
As good as
there's a difference between, like, are you a playoff team? Are you a Super Bowl team? I think Tyreek Hill makes them a Super Bowl team. I think they're good. They're a good team.
So is this the year that Josh Allen, if he doesn't get into fights with everyone on the team during practice, is this a year that the Bills can take it over the top and perhaps go to the Super Bowl, win one for the great Jew Marv Levy? I love him. The great Jew in the sky. I think he's still alive, but anyway.
Right. He just had a birthday, right?
He did.
96 or something?
Just turned 97, I was told.
Yeah, there you go.
Hoskins.
Anyway, don't get ahead of yourself.
I know, but he's
the thing. I like the Bills. I think everything's been building to this point. Like, it is one of those things, like if you're watching a movie or if you're into professional wrestling and you're like, this has been the build. Like, we all know that when WrestleMania is at SoFi, Cody Rhodes is winning the title.
That's right.
We just know. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's what the Bills feel like. They feel like Cody Rhodes, maybe Josh Allen should go out there, get a tattoo on his neck, like fulfill the whole thing.
Thank you.
But I think the biggest thing is getting Von Miller was such a huge deal for them. And again, people overlook this, and it's probably because of dorks like me who are so into fantasy football. But all we care about is if Gabe Davis is going to have, 15 touchdowns this year or not. But you're like, getting Von Miller, significant, because last year when he went to the Rams, it was a perfect situation for him. It's like, listen, bro, we don't care what you do during the regular season. Show up come playoff time.
Right.
And I think that's what Buffalo's trying to do.
They're like, do it when it counts.
Yeah.
We already have a great defense. We already play in a stadium in an outdoor stadium that's freezing most of the year, that make it hard to just put up video game numbers. So we already kind of have that. We tamp down your offense by coming in here.
Right.
You add him on that sort of, hopefully for the postseason run. Do the Rams look, obviously they lost Von Miller. Do the Rams look like they can repeat? Or
Well, I'm already starting to get worried. Like Matthew Stafford, they're having issues like, that's the kind of the thing that a baseball player has been dealing with, and worried about his arm. Like, that's what I don't want to hear.
You don't want to hear anything like his shoulder soreness.
What is happening? Like, then shut him down. Like, there's another guy. Like, we're good. We know what he's got. You know,
he's going to be
great.
Put
Johnny Dubs out there. Let him play some preseason games. I'm excited about having Allen Robinson out there. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. Like, what happened last season should just be disregarded. Like, that was that's a Matt Nagy situation. That was mishandled. Allen Robinson has been one of the best professionals. He's played with some of the worst quarterbacks in NFL history and gone out there, put up great numbers.
Yeah, he's a great receiver.
I think if Matthew Stafford is healthy, then Allen Robinson puts up top 5 numbers. And I think we're going to see something special out of him. And I'm rooting for him. Anybody from Chicago, like we're cool.
Yeah.
Like Allen Robinson did nothing wrong. Like we're good with him still. No need to go after him.